Today we're going to work more on factoring trinomials, only the difference here is that A is not 1. It's going to be something other than 1. So as always, let's get your name up here on the top of your paper to make sure your things don't get lost. All right, so in the last lesson, you saw me divide by A every time we built those binomials, and every time it just disappeared very nicely. It was kind of like, do I really have to do this? And the answer is yes, you do. Because here in this lesson, A does not always disappear so nicely. So we need to make a couple of notes to help us out. So when you divide by A, you're going to have to possibly do two things. One, reduce that fraction. And that might take care of it right then and there, because your binomials are not allowed to have a fraction sitting in them when you say done. Nope, you can't have that. Or if it doesn't reduce and disappear, you're going to move the denominator to in front of the x, but still inside of the parentheses. So I will show you exactly what that means, okay? Have no fear. We're going to take care of this. It'll be good. So let's look at problem number 1 together. And again, we're going to do the X method for all of these problems, regardless of what it says to do. So problem number 1. See, now I have a different coefficient in front of my squared term that isn't just a 1. So we look, do all 3 of these terms have something they can be divided by? No. 13 is not divisible by 2. Sorry, folks. So we begin the exact same way as we did before. A equals 2, B equals 13, C equals 6. Got it. And then we build our box, just like we did before, with the X in it. And the top triangle is still A times C. The bottom triangle is still B. That will not change. So 2 times 6. So if you want to write that, 2 times 6, that's 12. So that's where things have changed just a little bit this time. So you don't have a value here that is directly from your trinomial. We had to multiply A times C, 2 times 6. And the bottom triangle is 13. And that is still the same. And then we build our t-table, just like before, where I have 12 on top, and I need all of the pairs of factors that could make 12. 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. Great. Let's add them all together and get their sums. 1 plus 12, 13. 2 plus 6, 8. 3 plus 4, 7. Okay. So here I go back, just like we did before, and say I need a value of 13. Ah, there it is. This is the pair of factors that I need for the wings, 1 and 12. Now we go and build the binomials. This is where things are a little different, but it's not too bad. We're going to go slow. So I have a variable of the letter S. Make sure you know that's an S and not a 5. Plus your wing divided by A. A is 2. Oh, that's different. Times your variable S plus your other wing divided by A. A is 2. Alrighty. So like we set up in the note at the very top of the paper, if you can reduce it, do so. Can 1/2 be reduced? No. Can 12 over 2 be reduced? You bet. So we're going to be careful with our handwriting. S plus 1/2, that can't be reduced, times S plus 6. Great. Now we said in the note at the top of the paper, reduce the fraction if you can. Move the denominator in front of x, but inside of the parentheses. What denominator? That one. Right there. So this 2 is going to slide right there. Okay? So it's in front of the S, but it's inside of the parentheses. 2s plus 1. See how the fraction is gone now? It's just the numerator times s plus 6. Done. That's it. That's how you work through that. So this is why on the previous lesson I made sure that you divided by A each and every time. You just didn't have to do anything with it yet. This time you had to do something with it. Let's go check out problem number 3 together. Let's start figuring this out. Okay, 2, 1, let's write a 1 in there, and negative 21. Nothing in common to divide out, which is a hint of things to come eventually. Let's get our A, B, and C. A is 2, B is 1, C is negative 21. All right, let's build our X that we're going to use to factor. Remembering A times C goes on the top and B is on the bottom. So A times C. So 2 times a negative 21. A positive times a negative, negative 42. Ooh, that's a big number. And in the bottom triangle is my B, that's 1. All right, let's go build the t-table and tear apart that 42, negative 42. So since this is a negative, I know I have to use negatives on alternating sides of my pairs of factors. Negative 1, positive 42. Positive 1, negative 42. Negative 2, positive 21. Positive 2, negative 21. Negative 3, positive 14. Positive 3, negative 14. 4 doesn't work, 5 doesn't work, 6 does. Negative 6, positive 7. Positive 6, negative 7. Okay. Do you know which pair that you need? Do I need to go find them all? I need a positive 1. Which pair is going to give me a positive 1? Let's see if you get the same sums that I do. Did you get 41 and negative 41? How about 19 and negative 19? 11, negative 11? 1 and negative 1. Which pair is your winner? Negative 6, positive 7. That's great. I hope that's what you got. All right, so let's go for the new part of figuring out these binomials. So my variable is a letter m. M minus 6 over a. Here's my a of 2. M plus 7 over a of 2. Okay, so let's reduce if we can. M minus, is 6 divided by 2 reducible? It sure is, it's 3. M plus, is 7 divided by 2 reducible? Does it divide clean and even? No. 7 over 2. Okay, since I have a denominator, we're going to move this, the denominator, in front of its variable, in front of the m, but inside of the parentheses. So I have m minus 3 times 2m plus 7. There you go, folks. Done. All right, let's have a clarification. Clarification real quick on problem number 2. This dot in front of the 5 should not be there. This is not a decimal dot. I don't know what that dot is. And I think it's on your handout also. That is no bueno. So you can go ahead and make that just not be there. So, yeah. All right, you try number 2 and number 4. Pause the video. Let me know how you do. Oh, I don't think I showed that. That dot, number 5. I slid it over. I just didn't slide it up. My bad. There's a dot here, a number 2 in front of the 5. I whited it out. Okay, number 2 and number 4, go. Problem number 6. I'm going to let you do problem number 5 on your own. So let's do problem 6 together. And again, I'm not going to use this box. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to use the X, using the X. So let's adjust our box to be an X. And let's get this going. So A, B, and C. A equals 5. Good. What is B? Negative 18. Great. What is C? Positive 16. Super. What goes in the top triangle of your box? What two pieces multiply together? A times C. Excellent. What are those two numbers? 5 times 16. Great. What does that make? Makes a lot. What does it make? 80. Gosh dog, that's huge. All right, what goes in the bottom triangle of your box? B, that's right. And it is a negative 18. Excellent. Okay, let's go make a t-table. Let's see if you can do it. So we're going to tear apart and find the factors of 80. Now they both need to be negative. A negative times a negative make a positive, but their sum still has to be a negative. So all of the numbers in my table will be negative. -1, -80. -2, -40. 3 won't work. -4, -20. -5, -16. 6 won't work. 7 won't work. 8 will work. -8, -10. Okay. What are your sums? Can you go find them? I'll wait for you. Did you get -81? -42? -24? -21? And -18? Nice. Which pair are you going to use? Excellent. -8 and -10. Okay, we've done the hard work. Now we need to just build the binomials. And we have to remember to divide by a. We got this. So, yeah. So we have s minus 8 divided by a. What's my value of a? 5. And I have s minus 10 divided by 5. Okay, what can reduce? Do you know? Eight and 5 does not reduce. It is stuck. But 10 and 5 can reduce. What does that make? 2. You're right. Okay, last step. Let's finish it off. This denominator has to move right there in front of the s, but still inside of the parentheses. So I get 5s minus 8 and s minus 2. Great job. Awesome. Let's go do number 8 together. All right. So we should be getting some skills by now. I'm really hoping that you're like, oh, she doesn't even have to tell me what to do next because I'm figuring this out. That's what I'm really hoping is happening. So what did I just do? I labeled A, B, and C. Got it done. What did I just do? I turned my box into an X so it's actually usable. And I know that what two pieces have to multiply on the top? A and C. 17 times a -5. Now that you might need a calculator for. Do you know what it is? 85. -85. And on the bottom triangle, good old B, -12. What do we tear apart? -85. Good. See, you're starting to get the hang of this. Now, again, remember, since this 85 is negative, we're going to have all of our numbers twice with the negative alternating sides. -1, +85. Positive 1, negative 85. 2 won't work. 3, I don't think that's going to work. Nope. 4, no. 5, yeah. So negative 5 and 17. Positive 5 and negative 17. And you know what? That's it. That's all there is for 85. So let's go find our pairs, our sums. 84, negative 84. 12, negative 12. Which one do I want? Yep, the last one. 5 and negative 17. Okay, we're ready to build our binomials. T plus 5 over A. What's A? That's right, 17. And T minus 17 over 17. Great. You got your wings. You divided by A. What do we do now? That's right, we reduce. T plus 5 over 17, T minus 1. That sure looks nice. And how do I finish this? Yeah, I got to move that 17 right there in front of the T. Okay, T, whoops, I said it, I didn't write it. 17 T plus 5 times T minus 1. There it is, my final answer. Wasn't that great? All right, I want you to pause the video and do number 5 and number 7. If you need some help, come and talk to me.